Have you ever felt that the biology is so hard that you will never make an A in SPM? Or you want to get a good result, but you don't know how to start? I'm here to help. Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Rain. I'm gonna share with you some tips that can boost your score in biology or at least get you some idea on how to study biology. Without further ado, let's go! Tips number 1. Stick to only one study material. Not only for the subject biology, but also for the subject like physics and chemistry that require a lot of memorizing. So what is actually the study material I'm talking about? Study materials could be the notes from your teachers, exercises, list of Q&A, or a reference book. The reason why you should only focus on one study material is that you don't kalam kabut when you're preparing for your exam. A reference book will help a lot in this case. Other references like your teacher's note would do. But I believe that a reference book has already covered all the key points that are required to sit for SPM. By doing this, you need to bring your reference book to the school when there is a biology lesson on the day. I recommend you to split your reference book into halves, Form 4 and Form 5, so that you will only have to bring Form 4 or Form 5 part of the book to the school accordingly. When you have chosen your material, stick to that. The next thing that you want to do is to gather all the important information into this particular material that you have chosen. Sometimes from teachers you will hear that
很重要，大家赶紧记下来。
Then you want to jot it down into the book so that when you are revising, you know where to put emphasis on and revise more on that. By doing this, you will not miss anything important about the exam. Tips number 2. On a reference book. I know I've mentioned it in tips number 1, but I will explain to you why owning a reference book is worth a section to talk about. First of all, studying biology often requires you to have an adequate understanding on the structure of the body part. A reference book provides a static diagram with sufficient detail. Sometimes it comes with colors that helps you to differentiate and distinguish which part of the body it is referring to. Second of all, a reference book is very detailed. That means you seldom have to add additional information into your reference book because it has all been covered in your reference book. It saves you a lot of time, and when you are in class, all you have to do is to listen and try to understand. I've seen a lot of my friends trying to jot everything my teacher said down, while at the same time paying no attention to the meaning of the content, which is not very recommended. Studies show that you learn more effectively when you're receiving two different stimuli at the same time. So, you really have to get an reference book. Tips number 3. I'm gonna share with you some note-taking skill. I always see people do fancy and aesthetic notes on the book, using different colors and highlighters. Some even go and learn cursive or calligraphy to make their notes look better. I mean, I'm not judging people who draw beautiful pictures or learn cursive. But when your goal is to learn and revise very effectively and absorb all the information within a short period of time, making fancy notes is just a waste of time. Especially when you take like 10 or 11 subjects in SPM, you really have to utilize all of your precious time in order to take care of all of these subjects. So how do I take my note? I have a reference book and I stick to it. I have a highlighter from Faber-Castell Super Fluorescent Yellow and a pencil. I don't want my reference book to look like Rambo. I want it to be as clear as possible. I will only highlight the element phrases that hold the whole idea. In most cases, they are nouns or verbs, depending on whether it is a process or it is a factual causation. Considering that a reference book is very detailed, to the extent that some of the information could be cumbersome. In this case, we have to cut some of the information down. So what I would do is cross the repeated information or idea that is too complicated to understand, while at the same time I perceive it as unnecessary. For essay, I'll put a sticker on that so that I know that it's an essay and I'll memorize it. Tips number 4. I know it will be very difficult for you to do, but you have to memorize an bio essay once a week. It cannot be done with great motivation. I am so grateful that my bio 老师 demanded us to memorize essay every week, and it came with test. And if you fail the test, well, so it has really been a great motivation for me to memorize the essay. Next, as many of us are not native English speakers, sometimes we don't usually understand some of the scientific terms. In this case, I would suggest you to learn some common terminology. For example, the word photosynthesis. If we split it, we get photo and synthesis. We know the meaning of photo is light, and synthesis means to produce. So it should mean something like, use light to produce something. When the question asks, what is photosynthesis? Our answer should include the presence of light and the process of production. And then we add extra information to make it complete. Some other examples are hydrolysis, electrolysis, and photolysis. By learning scientific prefixes and suffixes, you'd be able to memorize a process or understand what the process really is about. When you first see a term and you happen to know some of the prefixes or suffixes, you instantly get the meaning of a particular terminology. This will help you to memorize and answer to the questions. One of the things that helped me the most, I think, is I always check on the content list every time before class started. By doing this, I get to know what our teachers is going to teach in the next class, and I can get prepared. In a nutshell, it's not easy to achieve or change your learning habit all at once. But the tips that I've shared are just some touch-ups to your learning style. It's for sure the tips that I've shared is not suitable for everyone, but I hope that this video could be an inspiration for those who want to score good results in biology but don't know where to start. If you found my suggestion useful, don't forget to like this video. If you don't like my video, press the dislike button twice. Comment down below. Let me know if you have any difficulties in learning any of the subjects. Most importantly, subscribe to my channel to get notified when a new video is released. Follow my Instagram. Maybe I will show my uni lives afterwards on Instagram. Gracias por ver el video. Adiós.